What if the cigarette you light today doesn't just damage your lungs, but rewires your immune system to help pancreatic cancer grow sooner and spread faster?
Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster. Today you'll hear how smoking drives pancreatic cancer by flipping your immune defenses, hardening your pancreas with scar tissue, and accelerating aggressive tumor behavior, plus concrete steps you can use to quit and protect yourself.
I'm Alara Sky. Pancreatic cancer often stays silent until symptoms like back pain, jaundice, digestive upset, or rapid weight loss appear. At that point, options are limited and outcomes are poor. Smoking tightens the timeline. Smokers develop pancreatic cancer earlier and face worse progression and resistance to treatment.
Smoking toxins directly hijack your immune system. Researchers focused on aryl hydrocarbon receptor ligands in cigarette smoke, compounds that bind to switches on immune cells and change how they act. In both mice and human pancreatic tissue, exposure to these toxins produced a surge of abnormal immune activity and faster, more invasive tumor growth.
Those shifts center on T cells. You rely on T cells to coordinate anti-cancer surveillance, but smoke exposure pushes some to secrete growth-promoting signals while converting others into regulatory T cells, or Tregs, that shut down natural anti-tumor immunity. That two-step change fuels growth and simultaneously silences your built-in defenses.
Investigators observed the consequences clearly. Tumors grew larger, metastasized more widely, and behaved more aggressively after exposure to cigarette chemicals. When suppressive tregs were removed in animal models, the pro-cancer effect of the smoke compounds collapsed. Tumors shrank, and anti-tumor immunity re-engaged.
Human samples mirrored the pattern. Smokers with pancreatic cancer had more Tregs inside their tumors than non-smokers, helping explain poorer outcomes. The same pathway also offered a therapeutic angle. When researchers inhibited the signaling activated by the cigarette toxins, immune function improved and tumors regressed.
Smoking doesn't just derail immunity, it reshapes your pancreatic environment. Stellate cells, normally quiet support cells, become overactive under smoke exposure. They lay down collagen and fibronectin that stiffen tissue, creating dense fibrosis. That scarred matrix shelters cancer cells and physically blocks therapies from reaching their targets.
Inflammation compounds the damage. Smoke triggers chronic inflammatory signals that keep cancer cells alive longer, promote rapid division, and help them resist programmed cell death. Reactive oxygen species generated in this environment damage DNA and proteins, tipping the balance toward tumor survival rather than repair.
These changes intersect with genetic risk. Many pancreatic cancers start with mutations that push abnormal growth. Smoking amplifies that risk. It doesn't have to create new mutations to make existing ones more dangerous. In practical terms, smoke exposure turns a smoldering predisposition into a faster-moving disease.
When you combine immune suppression, fibrosis, inflammation, and oxidative stress, you get a hardened, treatment-resistant pancreas. That helps explain why smokers often respond worse to chemotherapy and radiation. The tissue becomes a barrier that protects the tumor and frustrates standard care.
If you smoke, the message is direct. Quitting protects your pancreas. The mechanisms aren't abstract. They operate through identifiable switches on immune cells and measurable changes in pancreatic tissue. Stopping exposure removes the ongoing push toward Treg buildup, fibrosis, and inflammatory priming.
Translating this into action, one evidence-based strategy pairs transcranial direct current stimulation with moderate aerobic exercise. Together, they reduce cigarette cravings by more than half and cut smoking more effectively than either alone. The stimulation helps balance circuits involved in addiction, while exercise reduces withdrawal stress and supports mood.
Daily movement still matters even without brain stimulation. Brisk walking, cycling, or swimming lowers urges, promotes circulation, and helps clear toxins. If you rely on cigarettes to manage stress, replacing that habit with consistent activity gives you a reliable outlet that doesn't feed the addiction loop.
Routines drive cravings, so restructure your trigger moments. If you typically smoke after meals or with coffee, pre-plan a swap. Step into sunlight for a few minutes, chew a piece of fruit, or do a brief walk. Those substitutions retrain your brain to expect a different action when cues appear.
Fueling your metabolism reduces the pressure that pushes you back to nicotine. Aim for adequate healthy carbohydrates, about 250 grams daily for most adults, and high-quality protein. Stable energy lessens the stress signals and blood sugar dips that make cravings feel overwhelming. Eat enough to avoid the underfueling that keeps you on edge.
Resetting circadian rhythm strengthens dopamine balance and self-control. Get morning sunlight, limit late-night blue light, and keep regular sleep hours. A steadier rhythm supports the brain regions that govern impulse control, making it easier to resist urges and maintain momentum once you quit.
If you already have symptoms that worry you, persistent abdominal or back pain, unexplained weight loss, or new digestive problems, seek evaluation promptly. Early assessment can clarify what's driving your symptoms and whether smoking is accelerating a process that needs attention now.
You can also watch for early warning signs that your pancreas is under stress when you smoke. Rising fatigue, loss of appetite, or changes in stool patterns. These aren't diagnostic on their own, but in the context of smoking, they're cues to take quitting seriously and to speak with a clinician about targeted screening.
Your challenge today is to choose a single, concrete step and do it before you sleep. Schedule a moderate exercise block for tomorrow. Replace one trigger cigarette with a walk or piece of fruit. Set your alarm for a consistent wake time. Or plan meals to hit adequate carbohydrate and protein intake. Then repeat that step for 7 days and track how cravings, mood, and energy shift. Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.